Hello there, I'm Anna Mealy from North East Animal Rights. Welcome to another one of my talks on all things vegan. But for this one, I wanted to do a review of everything what Nia has done in the last year. And there's so much I've had to write it down because it's just so easy to lose track. I also wanted to look at some of the high points and the low points and the challenges we've faced as well, and all of the things we've got planned for the new year, because there's so much going on. So we always start off the year, we have for the last few years now, with our digital advert up in the local, in a big superstore car park in Asda in South Shields. And it's a very, very proud moment to see our advert up there because we know it's reaching loads and loads of people, and it's kind of subliminal messaging to get veganuary across to everyone. And we are very grateful to Veganuary for letting us use their images as well. And although we are a relatively new group, we feel as if we've been around forever now, and we're kind of like established part of the animal rights scene up in Newcastle. So we had this advert in Asda in January, and we also had a wellbeing trip down to Sugar Noms in Redcar because they're very supportive of our group and we love what they do as well. Again, it's sort of subliminal vegan messaging, and and they're a really, really popular company, and we love going down there, and it's a really, really big boost to our well-being as well when we go to see these lovely people down there. In February, we did, we mark the death of Jill Phipps, who was an activist who died many years ago under the wheels of a truck. And we always, take time to remember those who came before us. But we also marked our third birthday as well. And we did events for Valentine's and Mother's Day, events around like love-based for Valentine's, and making a connection between mothers and their animals, mothers and their babies in both the human and the animal world as well for Mother's Day. April, we had a very, very busy month because we did a grand national event. We talked to people about the cruelty that is, horse racing and greyhound racing as well. There's a lot of focus on the grand national event because it is a very, very cruel event, but we need to remember that it goes on all the year round as well. We also did a WDEIL event, which is World Day for Animals and Labs, and focusing on the atrocities which go behind, going in labs. In places like Camp Bagel down in Peterborough, but also in Newcastle University and in universities right around the UK as well. These awful, awful, barbaric, torturous things going on to animals in the name of science. I took part in the big one, which was a big event organised by Extinction Rebellion in London. And we met up with, I met up with lots of activists down there, and it was a really, really good, very well organised, very happy, very positive event. And we made our voices heard. And I was very pleased to be part of the vegan contingent down there. Now, go a little bit further forward into May. Now we had our event. We had our Tyneside Vegan and Music Festival event in May. It was the second year at Northumbria University, and it's the fourth year of the event running. And it was very successful. We made a lot of money from Millington's Magical Barn, and we decided that this year we're going to change. We're going to split our money between Millington's and also Animals Asia. They are the two groups we do quite a lot of work with, and we support them, wholeheartedly. And the planning's well underway for that already. We did have an unexpected outcome from this event because one of our adverts went out and we got just absolutely horrendous trolling. And it was very, very stressful at the time. It was incredibly stressful for me because obviously I'm the admin on the page. And it's kind of constant, kind of like, you want to take some of these comments you want to just leave on and ignore them. Others we needed to take off because they were just polluting the page. So it was a very stressful thing, but we have learned from that. And I'm kind of a bit more resilient in terms of, the effect trolls will have on me now. And we have turned that into a very successful and much anticipated Friday post, the Cowpats of the Week. And we had recent post, which we put out in Christmas, where that's been relentlessly trolled and is still being trolled. So again, we've turned that into our advantage, and we monetize these trolls' comments, and kind of like show them up for the taters that they actually are. We also had our lovely VJ, who was the Animals Asia Northeast organizer. She created a number of graphics for us, and one of them was the graphics for the seagull, the herring gull protection poster. So we would give some of these out to local businesses who were having problems with seagull interaction with humans. And so reminding the businesses and the customers that they need to be careful with food when they're out and about, but also reminding people that these animals are protected as well. So hurting them is a crime. And in June, we worked with the lovely Sash Jolliffe, who does a lot of work with We the Free. and he's the national organizer for the National Animal Rights Day event in June. So we did have another really good event there, and we're going to be working with them again in the future. So this summertime as well. We did a memorial event with North East Animal Safe for Regan Russell, who was an activist who was killed under the wheels of a pig slaughter truck in Canada. And we had Barbara Helen, who is one of our friends and supporters, and also an activist. She played us some music there for that memorial event. We then did a wellbeing trip to Millington's Magical Barn to see the animals there in Jake's care, and had a great catch up with him and his family. And I went down. I also went to an animal rights exhibition in London, which was created by Kim Stallwood, who is an academic who we've spoken to in the past and who does some amazing work, and is currently writing a book about Topsy the elephant as well. Now, go a little bit further forward into August. I feel like I'm going to breakneck speed with these because there's just so much, but we're in August now. So in the summer when it was lovely and warm and, and not so cold, there's no wind or cold or rain like it is right now. But we did our usual, our usual events, fitting around everybody's holidays as well. But we also went to the National Animal Rights March in London. And this is one of those ones where it's just, it's just an absolute joy because you get down there and you realize you're not on your own. There's so many people there. We have an absolute whale of a time. We chant when we're marching, we hand leaflets out to people who are watching us walk by, and we catch up with so many like-minded people. We bumped into Jodie Casamajana, we bumped into Saffron, who is a huge inspiration to us as well. We bumped into Sasha as well, Sasha Jolliffe, and Lainey as well from Animal Rising, and loads of people who we know, some people who we only see on Facebook regularly, but it's great to see them in person as well and catch up and give them a hug and just show solidarity and just be around like-minded people. It's an absolute joy to go to these events. We also did an event with Peter as well. Peter came up in one of their rare trips up north. So we did an event with them in Newcastle, and Nia supported it as did other activists from the area, including Alex, who we all know in Nia, and we did a trip to Pigs in the Wood as well. Is another one of our wellbeing events. These wellbeing events, I keep mentioning them. I mean, it is really important that we do these. It's a way of us building rapport and relationships between activists in our group, but also activists, in the Northeast as well. But it also, as well as supporting the places that we go, it just kind of just gives us a way to reset and a way to just chill and relax around people who understand veganism, but also understand the massive toll it takes on our mental health as well. So in September, we're now into the autumn now. So in September, we continued with our stalls. In October, we did some Halloween events, we did some late summer events, and we did lots of food tasting ones as well. And we have got a new collaboration with those lovely people at Planet and People, who give us free food to hand out as well. And Viva also supports us with that. So it's great because obviously free food is a big draw to people, and we do have lots of people waiting to try our different food samples. We will be having one in January as part of Veganuary, and we'll be having again some food donated by Planet and People, and we will be having chicken samples out, fake chicken. We're hoping to do something with VFC as well, but we'll see if that comes off. But if not, we'll definitely be having food samples from Planet and People as well. I headed over to Cumbria, Ulverston Way, to help with the Close South Lake Zoo campaign, and this is something which is, it is in the back and beyond for us. It's a really difficult kind of. It's a long journey for us to go, especially when we're only going for a couple of hours, but it's a really important campaign, and it's one of those ones which we really think is winnable, because this zoo already has lots and lots of issues, and in February, it's crunch time for them in terms of of what they've had to do to get the council to agree to they continue to be there. So we need to keep the pressure on. So this is something which we really feel is winnable, and although there's only a couple of activists over there who are able to do something regularly, it's something which we will support from afar by petitions and also by doing reciprocal events over in Newcastle as well. Now in October, in November, should I say, we did an event at Nevfest. We haven't done these events before. We go to them as individuals, but we haven't actually done a stall there. And it was really, really well organised, and we love Kerry and Gail as well. So we've now added our Nevfest and also the Eaglescliffe events in the northern area. We are all going to add these to our schedules, and so you'll see us at these events regularly. We will do. I'll do the events at Sunderland or Gateshead, and Rachel will do the events down in Eaglescliffe because that's near her where she lives. I also did. I went down to Leeds as well to do a talk for Lush for their staff training event, which was absolutely brilliant. I was treated, like a vegan queen. It was just brilliant. They were so lovely, and a massive shout out to Emily for organising that, and for it was the travel on the day was an absolute nightmare because the trains were being taken off. Every single train I got on got taken off till I eventually got down there, and the same happened on the way back as well. But in between, the event was absolutely amazing, and really enjoyed it. And we also got news that the church that we've done an eco church work application with, they got awarded their bronze plaque, which is really good news, and we'll be working with them in the new year as well when they install the plaque, and we'll be doing a little ceremony with them to mark that, and also be working with them towards the silver award as well. December is always a very busy month because we have lots of social things going on as well, and everybody is kind of like trying to wrap up for the end of the year, but we also want to keep on pushing our vegan message, particularly when it's coming towards Christmas, because Christmas is quite a difficult time for vegans because you're surrounded everywhere by by death, by suffering, by animal death, and it's and we need to make sure that we that we kind of keep the message going and make sure that people are aware of the alternatives, and people are also in the right place to sign up for Veganuary as well. We did have some awful events in December. Benjamin Zephaniah, he died. He is a huge miss to us all as vegans, but also to the social justice movement as well. And we were very saddened to hear that that V-Bites went into administration. And we support, a massive shout out to Heather Mills and her team as they go through this awful process of administration. It is always sad when we see vegan businesses go into administration. It doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it's a huge blow to us. And we need to be asking ourselves, what can we do more to support these vegan businesses rather than supporting businesses who put out plant-based options? We need to do our utmost to help these businesses. Now, a few weeks ago, I went down to the Winter Wonderland Parade in South Tyneside. And that used to be an absolutely awful event for us because we used to be regularly taking part in protests against the camels there. But now it's an absolute joyous occasion. We go down there and we take pictures of all these creative and imaginative arrangements and contributions and things which go on now, all humans, all children, and really creative things, and it's just absolutely amazing. And they really are, the organisers, it's a credit to the council, and really shows all these organisers who are using animals in their events, how it should be done and how it can be done. And then we did a protest last week. We did a protest up in North Shields around the consistent and persistent use of netting by Nexus, which is killing birds, pigeons in the main, but other birds are getting trapped as well. And we did a pigeon protest outside of North Shields, and more on that later. And I also finished off the month by doing the North Sea dip. And at the time of recording this, we've raised just under £500, so we're absolutely delighted. And that will make a massive difference for us going into the new year with some funds to keep on doing what we do. Now, highlights of the year, or kind of new stuff as well, what we've done. We've been able to buy new equipment as well. So we managed to buy a folding gazebo to replace the one which was kind of like, really problematic and time consuming. And that's thanks to donations. And while that's not, that is a kind of like a bored piece of equipment, it means that our activists are, the kind of like the warm and dry when we're doing those colder events, but also it means we're much more visible in terms of where, how people can see us from quite a distance. They can see what we're doing from quite a distance. And also it means that we are able to do the food events more safely and easily because we have the protection from the weather as well. We've also, it also helps to keep the public standing at our stall a little bit longer as well. So rather than walking past and grabbing a leaflet, they're more likely to come over because they're protected from the weather as well, and they stand talking to us for a little bit longer. We've also developed a fabulous relationship with Sheila Graber, she's an award-winning local animator and artist, and she also was given what's the word, the Freeman of the Free the Freeman of the Borough Award. I can't remember exactly what the term is, but that's basically what she is. So she's been given that, and she was actually given that at the same time back in January when we had our Animal Protection Charter. That was officially adopted in January, and she was on the same agenda as well. So that's something which we've been developing, and Sheila has been doing absolutely loads of animations for us, and we're really, really grateful to her for her spending her time and her talents as well in that way, helping us. And she's been a massive help to us as well. So a massive thank you to her. And we are working now on a programme, on a new education programme called Splat and Spot for the new year. And this is something which we're going to be, working on really hard and trying to, we've already got some interest from Animal Aid, and we're going to be offering this little short film, which will be based around seagulls, herringulls, and also pigeons as well. We'll be given, permission for people to use those in terms of any education settings, so we can promote the amazing things that the gulls and pigeons do, and to try and to take that away from the negative side of what people see. The pigeon poop, the kind of like the image of gulls as noisy pests, as pigeons as being dirty, and the flying rats sort of thing. So we're working with Sheila, and that's going to be Splat and Spot. We may find a more jazzy title in the new year, but that's kind of like what we're working with at the moment. We did start doing some health-related posts as well, articles written by Ollie, and in the new year, and they've been really, really well received. So in the new year, we're going to start, Tiger Mate is starting to write some beauty-related ones as well. So all of these are kind of like try to kind of get people into veganism and activism in many, many different ways. It's about trying to attract all age groups, all kind of interests, and that's the reason why we did our art as activism post as well, because we have lots of people who use poetry, who use lyrics, who use memes and art for activism as well, and that's all totally valid activism. So that was another new thing we introduced this year as well. And we also try to we try to extend our reach over all of the platforms. So all these different types of way are a way of extending our reach. We also had a little success as well, which is, I'm saying a little success, actually it means quite a big one, because it's a one where we had success with our hand weeding campaign. So although this is quite a very small part of what we do, it was a very time consuming part of what we do as well. So the fact that the council have now added this to their schedule is a success, and it means there's going to be quite a lot of work taken of us in the new year. And also they've added some fly tipping and later hotspots to their schedules as well. And all we're going to have to do then is keep an eye on them. And we have made inroads with identifying some spots which we weren't sure about ownership of. So again, all of these little things, they make a huge difference to us, to the community, to the area in which we live, but also to the animals who live in these environments as well. So we have had a number of challenges this year. So the challenges this year, we've had the Council's Animal Protection Charter. So this is the wider programme we work on, and you will have seen some posts go out about it. We have made a kind of like a stop-start sort of like progress with that, because it's been quite difficult in terms of the people who are working on that are already very, very busy activists. So myself and Saffron and Sadie and other people in it as well, and VJ, we all really, really have our time squeezed at the best times. So it has been quite difficult to make some more progress with that. But we are kind of regrouping, and we will make some more progress and some announcements in the new year about that. The bad guys for this year, as always, anybody who thinks it's okay to hunt foxes and to try and kid us that that these kills are accidental kills, these people who go out and and lay these fake trails, we know that these are just lies. We know that these people are actively trying to kill foxes and kill other animals as well. So these are bad guys until these hunts close, and we know that we are winning slowly but surely, and that fox hunts are closing down. They would like to kid us on that, you know, they're not going anywhere, they're going to be here. But we know that slowly but surely hunts are closing down, just not fast enough. And there are people out there who will continue to try and you know, try and hurt animals and try to kill animals. And again, another bad guy. All of those people who used animals in festive events. You know, we have a church in Wales. We have an event down in Swindon. We have loads of them in the, you know, across the UK. And a big shout out to Freedom for Animals and also Animal Aid, who've helped us with quite a bit of stuff in the Northeast as well. And all of you supporters out there who have contacted the organisers to tell them that we won't stand for animals being used in festive events. You know, there's nothing festive about an animal being dragged, you know, around in trailers and trucks and in vans to be pushed out into, you know, into the public's eyes or gaze, and these really barren fenced events. They're really unpleasant, and they really do themselves no favours at all. So we will continue to push for these events and to find better ways of doing things. Another bad guy sitting on the naughty step is Nexus. Nexus have continually been a thorn in our sides this year, and have continually been pigeon killers throughout the year. You know, the ones that we know of, we know that there's been a minimum of 28 pigeons killed by the awful netting, and we will continue to bug them, continue to be a thorn in their sides, until they agree that they need to work with us and continue to look at alternatives. We know that they are trialling the birdfire gel in a couple of tiny areas, but we also know that they are continuing to put netting up and replacing netting in areas rather than taking the horrible stuff down. So we will continue to hassle them until they do the right thing. A big shout out to all those trolls there as well. You may think by putting your inane comments on our post that we are going to come over the dark side and suddenly have this eureka moment, and you know, and realize that, yeah, actually eating and killing animals, that's the way to go. We aren't. All you do is you keep our posts alive, #algorithms, you know, so feel free to comment. You know, it's going to make no difference whatsoever. It really isn't. You know, some of you will make your way onto our Cowpats page because you may have come up with something which actually gives us a little bit of a chuckle. The majority of you don't have anything remotely interesting or original to say, so you just keep on doing that. Heading on to the new year, though, we have a number of events. We have a great event, a night at Supernatural, which is vegan musicians. So Barbara Helen and Sweet Gus are headlining, and we also have some poetry from Kev Park and some music from Lauren as well. It's going to be a great evening, and there's also food included in that as well. So please head over to our event page. Or just look back through our post for the Supernatural event. It's a lovely turquoise poster designed by Mort, who is a partner of Sweet Goose. So please head over there and get some tickets, because it is going to be a great event, and all the proceeds go towards supporting live music. It's not for us, this one, okay? We want to do a big shout out now to all of those people who have helped us throughout the year. So we have had a good relationship with our local police, our police wildlife officer Peter Baker, our councillors, particularly those in our ward, Councillor Francis, Councillors McEwen and Councillor Stonehouse as well as Councillor Millen and Councillor Guy. All of those are green councillors, but we do have support from other parties as well, and we do have support from our MP Emma Llewellyn as well. Local animal rights groups as well, our local you know, colleagues, Animal Rising and other people, the closed down South Lake Zoo, Freedom for Animals and Animal Aid, who we have lots of support from, and all the groups that we work with, and a huge shout out to Sheila Greer as well for her support throughout the year. But finally, I want to thank you know, a huge thank you to our followers and supporters. We can't do any of this without you. You know, without you, we're kind of like just talking ourselves. So thank you to you for following our page, you know, over all of our different platforms. Thank you to those of you who share our posts, who sign our petitions, who donate to us as well, and to come along and talk to us, come along and support our events. Come along to our festival as well. We really can't do this without you, and all of you contribute to animal rights and animal advocacy and helping animals by doing this. I want to do a personal thank you to my husband as well. because he puts up with an awful lot. You know, although I'm kind of like in the house, or I'm doing all this sort of stuff on the computer or laptop or doing campaigns, he doesn't see much of me. And you know, I really do appreciate his love and support. But also to my group as well. So everyone in my group, in our group, you know, they all do something. None of them kind of like just hang around. They're all doing something for animals, whether it's writing articles, whether it's creating memes, you know, taking photographs, which we use all the time, looking for the supermarket finds, coming to us to do the outreach, supporting us with the technical stuff. Everyone in our group does something, you know, so they're all activists in their own right, and they all do, they all work, make the world a better place, as do you, all of you watching this, and helping us make things better for animals. Okay, so I'm going to end now. I'm going to say thank you very much for listening. If you like what we do, please continue to support us. You know, you make donations, you can buy tickets to support our events, support us on social media, share our posts, share us on YouTube, and you know, all of the other platforms you know we have. But let's go into the new year with renewed energy, renewed enthusiasm, and renewed hope. And let's make this world a better place for animals and for all of the animals which live within it, including humans. So I'm going to sign off and say thank you very much for listening. I'm Anna-Amelia, wishing you all a happy new year, and saying goodbye for now. See you in the new year.